Speaker. That was a treat. I'm glad I arrived early. It's an interesting mix of facts and fiction. It was kind of peak irony, isn't it, having the member for New England here talking about making foolish statements in the parliament. That's a direct quote. I was listening carefully. The electricity grid is close to collapse, I think you said. We're a dumb country because we don't make cars here anymore. I mean, if only you'd been in government for the last 10 years, you might have been able to do something about this. But what happened to the car industry? Chase them out of Australia? Bye-bye car industry. I think that was your government, member for New England. And the point of a government is to lead, apparently. This is what he told the chamber just there. The point of a government is to lead. If only you'd been in the government for the last 10 years and could have done anything about all of these problems. But I think the favourite bit, I think you walked in, Minister, just as he was explaining to the parliament that it's really not such a dumb idea to bring uranium into the chamber. It's just like a lump of coal and the two are the same and that would be fine. But just when you thought the Libs couldn't get any weirder, even putting aside that contribution from the National Party, they do this. The party of tax cuts is here to oppose a tax cut on electric vehicles. It proves, I think, the point we heard yesterday in question time. A few good points made yesterday in question time. They are really the party of dregs and leftovers from the previous government. And there's a pattern, isn't it, just in the first few months since the election. They refuse to turn up to the Jobs and Skills Summit. They oppose at every turn clean, green, renewable energy to put downwards pressure on power prices. They pretend that secret ministries don't really matter. I mean, if you thought that they were weird, there are the secret ministries, the strangest thing since Sir Prince Philip. But this bill to cut tax on electric vehicles is good for motorists, it's good for employers and it's good for climate action. The FBT exemption will apply to battery electric cars, hydrogen fuel cells, plug-in hybrids, and savings of up to $9,000 a year. I think $4,700 if you're buying it as an individual with salary sacrifice or novated leases. And I actually had correspondence about this bill. It was one of the first things in the first sitting week of Parliament. I had Burren Motors locally email me and saying, is this election promise going to happen? When are you going to do it? And I said, well, I've got a good answer for you. We're introducing a bill into the Parliament today. And they said, is it going to pass the Parliament? And I made a mistake. I said to them, well, I'm sure it'll pass the Parliament, because I couldn't imagine a world where the opposition, the party of tax cuts, were going to oppose a tax cut on electric vehicles. But I'm going to have to contact Burren Motors. I visited them a couple of weeks ago to actually have a chat to understand. They got out the schedules, they explained how the novated leases work, they showed me the flow-through calculations, and actually the calculations they had were more optimistic than yours. They said it's going to incentivise employers and consumers to choose electric vehicles. So I apologise publicly for misadvising them, thinking that the opposition might support a tax cut on electric vehicles. But for the